So this was about 1983. One time in my new ward, I was sitting at the piano in the chapel. The bishop had been very kind. We couldn't afford a piano, so he let me borrow his key. And I'd go to the chapel and do my work. And I'm kind of an extemporaneous kind of a guy, and I just like to noodle and see what I've got, play in a sort of a distracted way and see what music comes out. And I was doing that, and there was this melodic figure that I was playing that I kind of did it before I noticed it, and then I went, oh, how lovely. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. And I thought, ooh. And it came through the fingers before my conscious mind knew what it was. So I memorized that, and then came words, and they just rolled, Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. And I thought, this is what we wanted to say. Consider the birds in the sky, how they fly. He clothes the lilies of the field. He feeds the birds in the sky, and he will feed those who trust him and guide them with his eye, his all-seeing eye. The second verse was similar. Consider the sheep of his fold, how they follow where he leads. Though their path may wind across the mountain, he knows the meadows where they feed. Lehi and Nephi were led through the more fertile parts of the wilderness. He knows where they needed to be. And then the same chorus, he clothes the lilies of the field, he feeds the birds in the sky, and he will feed those who trust him. And trust is so important. He wants us to trust him. And there are so many reasons why we don't, But if we can make ourselves trust something that seems so ethereal, if we can just hold on and say, well, that thing is, wow, this is a hard job. I'm going to trust. And then make decisions according to that, then great things can happen. And so I was pretty happy with the song. I thought, yeah, gee, 2 good verses. We'll change the key in the chorus and sing it again. And I think we got a good song. And I was ready to go home.
But that third verse.
Yeah. I felt like, you got to sit down. You're not done, Roger. So this other verse comes in and it says, consider the sweet, tender children who must suffer on the earth. And I panicked. I thought, how in the next few lines am I ever going to address that problem? I thought, my pen is too small, Lord. I got a couple of good verses. I'm going home. And the thought came to me, you're not writing this anyway. You are not, you're not creating this. You're just taking it down. So just hold on and listen and don't be afraid, because fear would have shut it off. So I listened. And he said, consider the sweet, tender children who must suffer on this earth. The pains of all of them he carried from the day of his birth. He clothes the lilies of the field, and then he changed it. He feeds the lambs in his fold. Wonderful image for children. And he will heal those who trust him and make their hearts as gold. And I was amazed that in so few words the Lord could say, this is the plan. This is how I deal with the suffering of my children. I heal them. So, I was quite a distracted man that day. It was probably one of the greatest revelatory experiences of my life. And I knew where it came from, and I was so thankful.